If you got married today, the odds are almost 70% that you'd either divorce or spend years stuck in quiet misery. 7 out of 10. Let that sink in. If skydiving carried that kind of risk, no one would jump. But with marriage, people still rush in without ever asking why. And that's the real reason so many men are walking away. I want to shift the way you see this. Marriage isn't just a romantic step. It's the riskiest contract you'll ever sign. And the truth is, most men are waking up to that reality. Now, let me take you inside the numbers. We've all heard the statistic roughly 50% of marriages in America end in divorce. But that's only half the story. What about the people who never walk into a courtroom, but stay in the same house living like strangers? They stay together for the kids. They stay together for the money, or they stay simply because the idea of splitting everything in half feels worse than the quiet misery of staying. When you add them in, the failure rate climbs even higher. 70 to 75% of unions either dissolve in paperwork or survive only in name. That's not a minor risk. That's a system almost designed to collapse. And yet, despite all of this, we can't seem to let it go. 86% of people who get divorced remarry within 5 years. Let that sink in. They go through the pain, the lawyers, the heartbreak, the lost years. They crawl out of the fire. And then, 5 years later, they strike the match again. Why? Because we believe in the story. We think, this time is different. We convince ourselves that the first one was a mistake. The second one is the real love story. We call it hope. But most of the time, it's a blind spot. I've seen men who walked away from the ugliest divorces imaginable. Fights that lasted 4 or 5 years. Millions in legal fees. Families torn apart. And only months later they are back in the same courthouse, marrying a woman 30 years younger that they met on vacation. When you ask them why, the answer is always the same. This time it's different. I've never felt love like this before. But here's the uncomfortable truth. It's not different. It's the same story on repeat. We are wired to chase it. It's less about the person and more about the pattern. And the pattern is brutal. You take a man in his 40s or 50s. He's built his business. He's survived one divorce. He swore he'd never go through it again. But when a new partner appears, all the logical scars fade away. He feels the spark. He tells himself he's stronger now, wiser now, smarter now. But emotions drown out memory. He convinces himself that risk is worth it. I call this the remarriage illusion. It's the belief that love has the power to erase statistics, but math doesn't care about romance. 70% is still 70%, no matter how magical it feels in the beginning. So men start asking a different question. If marriage is this fragile, if it fails more often than it works, why is it still treated as the natural next step? Why do we congratulate people for saying "I do," when statistically, what they're really saying is, "I accept the highest risk contract of my life"? You never hear someone say, "We've been dating for 3 years and decided not to get married." If they do, the reaction is always suspicious. What's wrong with him? Why won't he commit? Does he have intimacy issues? But if the same couple said, "We're getting married next summer," everyone cheers. Of course you are. That's what people do. Congratulations. This is where the illusion begins. Marriage is treated like drinking water. So common, so assumed, that no one even questions what problem it's meant to solve. If I show you a coffee mug, you can tell me its purpose in 1 second. It holds liquid. It keeps the table clean. Easy. But if I ask, what problem is marriage designed to solve, most people can't answer. They just say, well, that's what you do. That's what love is supposed to lead to. And that's where the trap lies. Because when you don't question the system, you inherit its risks without resistance. That's why men today are pushing back. Not because they hate women. Not because they fear commitment. But because they see the numbers. They see the wreckage. They see the lives destroyed by a contract that society still sells as a fairy tale. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. You realize that marriage isn't broken for a few unlucky people. It's broken for the majority. And yet, we still walk into it with eyes closed. That's the paradox. That's the conflict. And that's where the real story begins. When people hear the phrase, love is an economy, they often laugh. They think it sounds cold. They imagine spreadsheets, contracts, and dollar signs. But look closely at any long-term relationship, and you'll see it's true. Love is a constant exchange of value. Now, value doesn't always mean money. It can be time, energy, laughter, patience, or even peace of mind. One person brings drive, ambición, the ability to build and provide. The other brings lightness, play, and warmth. If the exchange feels fair, the relationship flourishes. If the exchange feels lopsided, resentment grows like a crack in the foundation. Here's the mistake many men make. They confuse romance with charity. They think if they give endlessly, without balance, the relationship will somehow stabilize. But love doesn't work that way. It's not charity. It's trade. And when the trade is honest, it's beautiful. I've seen countless examples. A powerful, hard-working man in his 50s. He's built wealth, but he's exhausted. He meets a younger woman who has energy, creativity, a fire in her spirit, but no resources to build her vision. He says, "Focus on your art. I'll provide the stability." In return, she gives him laughter, companionship, and a sense of renewal he hasn't felt in decades. That's not manipulation. That's a fair exchange. It's two people meeting each other's needs in different currencies. The problem comes when we deny the exchange. When a man convinces himself that his partner is with him purely for his personality, while ignoring the obvious role his financial security plays. That's when the illusion becomes dangerous. I once watched a client, a billionaire, short, overweight, and deeply insecure, insist that the 25-year-old model he was about to marry was in love with his sense of humor. He truly believed money had nothing to do with it. That kind of self-deception isn't just naive, it's costly. Because when the truth reveals itself, and it always does, the fall is brutal. The courts don't care about your sense of humor. They care about the assets on paper. They care about who gets what. And in that moment, romance vanishes, and the economy of love shows its sharpest edge. Now, let me be clear. Calling love an economy doesn't mean love isn't real. It doesn't mean affection, desire, or emotional connection don't matter. It simply means that underneath the fireworks, there's always a balance sheet. One person gives, the other gives back. If both feel the trade is worth it, they stay. If one feels cheated, they leave. And here's the climax of the whole conversation. We've been trained to see marriage as the ultimate proof of love. But in reality, marriage is the point where the economy of love collides with the economy of law. It's where feelings meet statutes, where romance meets government paperwork. And that collision is where most men lose everything. Because marriage in America isn't just two people promising loyalty. It's a legal contract that redistributes wealth, property, and even future earnings. And most men sign it without ever reading the fine print. Think about that for a second. You'd never buy a house without a contract. You'd never start a business without reviewing the terms. But men walk into marriage every day signing the riskiest contract of their lives with nothing but hope as their lawyer. And then they wonder why they lose half of everything they've built. They wonder why alimony, child support, and asset division feel like a guillotine. The answer is simple. They entered the trade blind. They thought love would protect them. But love doesn't rewrite state law. The legislature does. And the legislature doesn't care about your vows. That's why the conversation about prenups is so powerful and so misunderstood. The moment you mention it, people recoil. They say, "Why are you planning for divorce before you even marry? Don't you believe in love?" But let's flip the script. When you buy life insurance, no one accuses you of planning to die. They understand you're simply acknowledging reality. You hope you won't need it. But if the worst happens, it spares your family chaos. A prenup works the same way. It's not a lack of romance. It's a deeper form of love. It's saying, "I want to be with you, but I never want you to stay with me out of fear. I want you here because you choose me, not because leaving would ruin you." That's the shift most men never make. They see prenups as cold. But the truth is, A prenup is one of the most romantic things you can offer. It says, I want to remove fear from the equation. I want to make sure that even if we fail, you'll be okay. And I'll be okay. So the only reason we stay is because we want to. And that, right there, is the climax. The moment where love transforms from a fairy tale into something real, something sustainable. Because once you see love as an economy, once you accept that marriage is a contract, you stop pretending. And when you stop pretending, you actually give romance a chance to breathe. No more illusions. No more blind spots. Just two people, clear-eyed, saying yes with honesty. That's not less romantic. That's more. So let's talk about resolution. What do men actually do with this knowledge? Once you see that marriage is both an emotional promise and a legal contract, how do you protect yourself without giving up on love? The answer is simple, but not always easy. You create clarity before you create commitment. That's where the framework I call yours, mine, and ours comes in. It works like this. If something is in my name, whether it's a car, a bank account, or even debt, it's mine. I'm responsible for it. You can't claim it, and you're not liable for it. If something is in your name, it's yours. No claims. No obligations on my side. And if we decide to put something in both of our names, a joint account, a house, then we share it equally. Whether it's an asset or a liability. 3 buckets. Simple, clear, fair. Now imagine if every couple had that conversation before saying I do. Imagine if they actually talked about what happens when the honeymoon glow fades and real life begins. Would some relationships end before the wedding? Yes. But maybe that's not failure. Maybe that's wisdom. See, the hardest part about love isn't falling into it. That part is easy. It's intoxicating. The hardest part is staying honest when the emotions are overwhelming. And honesty requires structure. Think about how we handle conflict. If you've been in any relationship, you know fights are inevitable. Words get twisted. Feelings get bruised. It's part of being human. But the best time to learn how to fight is not in the middle of a fight. It's before. When you can calmly ask, how do you like to argue? Do you need space? Do you need resolution right away? What's the healthiest way for us to clash without burning the whole house down? That's what a prenup really is. It's not just about money. It's about setting rules for how we'll navigate the hardest parts of partnership. It's about saying, when we're angry, when we're scared, when we're tired, here's the playbook. Here's how we protect each other, even from ourselves. I've heard people say, but if you love me, you don't need a prenup. And my response is always the same. If you love me, why wouldn't you want one? Why wouldn't you want to make sure we're both protected? That neither of us stays trapped because leaving feels impossible. Because here's the truth, every man learns too late. If your partner knows that walking away would ruin her life financially, that becomes a shadow in your marriage. You'll never know if she's with you out of love or out of fear. And, deep down, you'll feel it. That doubt will poison everything. But if you both know that even in the worst-case scenario, you'll land on your feet, then every day together is a genuine choice. You wake up next to each other because you want to, not because the alternative is too expensive. And that's what men are really seeking now. Not an escape from love, but an escape from illusion. They don't want to marry anymore under the old script. The script that says marriage is automatic, that prenups are cold, that staying together at all costs is a badge of honor. They want a new script, one where marriage is a conscious choice, not a default expectation. One where contracts are read, not ignored. One where the economy of love is acknowledged. So resentment never has the chance to grow in silence. And I'll tell you this, when men embrace this perspective, something powerful happens. They stop being afraid. They stop seeing relationships as traps waiting to snap shut. They start seeing them as collaborations worth investing in. Because when risk is managed, freedom returns. Let me leave you with this image. 2 people, standing at the edge of a cliff. They want to jump, to feel the thrill of free fall together. But one has a parachute, the other doesn't. Would you call that romance? Or would you call it reckless? Love without structure is jumping without a parachute. It feels thrilling until it doesn't. Love with clarity, with a prenup, with honest conversations, is the same jump. But this time you both have gear. You both have a chance to land safely. No matter what. That's not less romantic. That's more. Because nothing says I choose you like protecting each other from the worst possibilities of life. So the real reason men don't want to marry anymore isn't because they're bitter, or selfish, or afraid of commitment. It's because they finally understand what's at stake. They finally see the fine print. And until marriage evolves into something clearer, until society stops selling it as a fairy tale and starts treating it like the high-risk contract it is, more and more men will choose to walk away. And maybe that's not the death of love. Maybe it's the rebirth of it. Because only when you strip away the illusion do you find the truth worth holding on to. If this message resonates with you, to share it with someone you care about. Have the hard conversations. Don't wait until the fight starts or the lawyer calls. Start now, while you still love each other, while the choice is still yours. And if you want more honest conversations like this, hit subscribe. Join the small percentage of viewers who actually do it. Because the more this community grows, the more voices we bring to the table. And that's how change begins. So stay strong, stay smart, and above all, stay honest.